Hello, boys and girls. So today I have another gingerbread book I want to share with you. This time it's called The Gingerbread Baby, and it's by one of my favorite authors and illustrators. Her name is Jan Brett. So let's get our fingers ready. I wiggle my fingers. I wiggle my toes. I wiggle my shoulders. I wiggle my nose. Now no more wiggles are left in me. I will sit as still as can be. Listening ears turned on. Voices turned off. Let's get ready. Let's see how this story ends. Do you think there's a fox or a park ranger who's going to eat this yummy cookie? I don't know. All right, look at the beautiful illustrations. It's a cottage. It was cold outside, but it was warm inside. A fine day for gingerbread, Maddie thought. Maddie's mother put a big blue bow on the table and lit the stove. Maddie took down a worn-looking cookbook with old-fashioned writing on the cover. He opened it up and turned to the page that said, Gingerbread Boy. They measured and mixed, and Maddie rolled the dough into a shape of a gingerbread boy and popped it in the oven. Bake a full 8 minutes. No more, no less. And do not peek. Maddie listened to the clock. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4, 5. Maddie couldn't wait any longer. It said 8 minutes. He opened the oven door to take a peek, and instead the gingerbread boy jumped out and started running around. He pranced around the big blue bow. I'm the gingerbread baby, fresh from the pan. If you want me, catch me if you can. Maddie's mother reached for the gingerbread baby to put him back into the oven, but he ran around the kitchen. The door opened, and in came Maddie's father. What's that delicious smell? He asked. The gingerbread baby tumbled through his legs and out into the yard. Now he's gone, and he's running through the snow. He ran by Tabby, a cat. She twitched her tail and sprang at him. They rumbled and tumbled, but the gingerbread baby came out on top. He ran towards the garden wall. The dog caught a whiff of the tasty ginger and sniffed along behind him. But the gingerbread baby was halfway up when the dog caught up. He barked and barked as the gingerbread baby climbed over the wall. Oh no. Maddie was still inside. He heard his mother and father yelling. He heard a cat meowing and a dog barking. And he heard the gingerbread baby shouting, catch me if you can. Maddie opened the worn-looking cookbook for a second time. I wonder what Maddie's looking for. Meanwhile, the gingerbread baby wheeled down the road to the barn. The goats looked up as he somersaulted across their backs. The last one tried to catch him, but the gingerbread baby was too fast. Martha and Madeline were standing by the well when the gingerbread baby stopped to take a drink. They looked at each other and winked. Martha started to talk to him while Madeline tiptoed up behind him with the bucket. But they couldn't fool the gingerbread baby, so they weren't able to catch him either. He took a braid from Martha and a braid from Madeline, and he tied a knot and he ran down the road. Back at the house, Maddie stirred and mixed and rolled the dough. He shaped it into a ball, put it on a pan, and then put it in the oven. Tick-tock, tick-tock, 8 long minutes. This time, he didn't peek. I will catch him if I can, Maddie said. As he was bouncing along, the gingerbread baby saw a farm wagon just ahead. He jumped up and settled in for a ride next to Mama Pig. The smell of the gingerbread was too much for him, or for her. She tossed him up in the air, closed her eyes, and opened her mouth. But the gingerbread baby twisted in the air and came down on her porky snout. I'm the gingerbread baby, too quick for the mother and father, too fast for the cat and the dog and the goats, too clever for Martha and Madeline, and too smart for the Mama Pig. Who's left? Catch me if you can. That was a close call. Feeling smug, the gingerbread baby strode along by himself until he came to a bridge that crossed over into the village. Just as he got to the middle, he heard running feet behind him, and he saw a crowd of villagers ahead of him. The gingerbread baby was trapped. Oh no. He jumped onto the railing, backflipped through the air, and landed on a chunk of ice floating down the river. The illustrations in this book are beautiful. The ice bobbed along with the gingerbread baby, dancing on top and singing in a loud voice, "Look at me!" And what do you see? The best gingerbread baby ever. Until his feet got cold and he jumped ashore. Who was watching from the trees? It's a fox. He crept up behind the gingerbread baby, ready to eat him, but the fox couldn't help himself. He licked his chops. Smack, smack. The gingerbread baby heard him, and he ran as fast as he could. So far, he hasn't caught him. Just when the fox was catching up, the gingerbread baby saw the milk and cheese man with a can of milk. Perfect for hiding, he thought. He lifted the lid and lowered himself inside. He was so pleased that he sang his song atop of the gingerbread voice. Ha ha hee hee! You'll never find me. I'm the gingerbread baby. Catch me if you can. The milk and cheese man heard the gingerbread baby's voice. Who is meddling with my milk? He shouted. He lifted the lid, but the gingerbread baby was ready. He jumped up and he hit him on the nose. Now, the milk and cheese man, the fox, the villagers, the mama pig, Martha and Madeline, the bleating goats, the barking dog, the meowing cat, the mother and the father were all after the gingerbread baby and getting closer. And he knew it. The baby was not as peppy and proud as he had been. He's getting tired. But up ahead, he smelled and followed his nose into the woods. Wonder what he smells. He couldn't believe what he saw. There in the middle of the clearing was a gingerbread house, frosted with sugar, covered with candy, and doors and peppermint handles. The gingerbread baby clapped his hands with glee, and he ran inside. I wonder who built the gingerbread house. In a tick-tock-tee, everyone arrived at the clearing, but all they found were a few bits of frosting, peppermint candy, and some crumbs. That father exclaimed, "The gingerbread baby has finally met his match. I wonder who it was," the mother said. "Let's go home and tell Maddie." So do you think somebody ate the gingerbread baby? Let's find out. "Hello, Maddie," said his father when they got back home. "We never did catch the gingerbread baby. All we found were some crumbs in the snow." "I see you have been busy, though," said his mother, looking at the gingerbread house that Maddie was holding. "Too bad we never caught the gingerbread baby." "Yeah, too bad," said Maddie. I think I've seen that gingerbread house before. Only Maddie could hear the little tiny voice from inside the gingerbread house. Who do you think's in here? There's the gingerbread man. "I'm the little gingerbread baby, lucky as can be, to be living in a house that Maddie made for me." So did this story end anything like our other ones? It did not. It had a very happy ending. Maddie caught his gingerbread cookie and they got to come back together. So I think we're going to have enough time this week for one more gingerbread story. Check it out, and I cannot wait to share it with you all. Bye, friends.